The video description contains detailed timestamps for easy navigation. The video has on-screen information on the progress. The process of updating 11 mods is shown and explained in detail so that nothing is omitted. The updated mods are of different sorts and require to use tools like FNIS Generator or DYNDOLOD after the update. This gives the opportunity to explain how to use those tools when updating mods. Greetings, welcome to Outdated TV. In this video I'm gonna show you how to update mods with Mod Organizer 2 in your game, also during your playthrough, how to check if mods have updates using Mod Organizer 2 and using the Nexus Mods page. So the first way to keep track of mod updates is to have them tracked on the Nexus page. So when you are logged in with your account and you download a mod and install it, click here to set it on tracking, endorse it if you like it, or maybe a bit later. This way, anytime you visit Nexus Mods and you are logged in with your account, anytime you hover your mouse over updates here, you will see a list of mods that have been updated recently. You can also click on load more to see more updates. The second way is through Mod Organizer 2. So here you see the version of every mod that you have installed. As you can see, some of them are red, some of them are green, and some of them just have a date here. The mods with the date mostly are older mods or some custom mods that I did for my game. The mods that are red are potentially to be updated, especially when you see this little sun icon here. So bear in mind that this method will not work for older mods that will be not tracked by Mod Organizer 2 for Skyrim Special Edition. To filter out mods that are potentially to be updated, you can click this icon here and check all for update. This will leave out only those mods that have the red color in your main lists. So it applies a filter, and every mod that has a sun here is potentially ready to be updated. But you need to take into account there are sometimes problems with the versioning and also problems created by the mod authors and problems that you might create if you wrongly assign mods here. So be very careful with this. Or just check the mod's description and files if indeed the mod needs to be updated. So once you have your list filtered out, you can hover with the mouse over the mods version and you will see a probable new version on Nexus with a higher number. But for many mods, like for instance Apache Sky Hair, the mod itself is on version 1.6, but the full female and full male hairs additional modules, they are on version 1.5 and 1.2. So the indication about update is false in this case. So you go through this list carefully and you will find out which mods indeed need to be updated. So after carefully examining the updates on Nexus Mods page and my Mod Organizer 2 days ago, I ended up with this list of mods that need to be updated. If you are on to update mods that contain a lot of scripts, big mods that do a lot of changes in the game and contain plugins, the mod authors should include instructions what to do in case you want to update the mod during a playthrough, or if you can do it at all. Good example is FNIS New Idols, which has a very good description page, is preparing you for eventual misbehavior of the mods in case you are updating also other mods that are linked to it. The author also provides instructions how to do a clean save in case you experience any problems with FNIS New Idols. So remember to read mod descriptions before updating and wanting to continue your playthrough, because it might be necessary to drop all your gear, go into a house, save, then load up the save without the mod and do things like that. It is very well described over here on the FNIS New Idols mod page. However, by default, there is nothing special you need to do in case of updating Forest New Idols. After checking for eventual special instructions, download the new versions to the place where you have configured your downloads in Mod Organizer 2, or use Nexus Download with Manager button if you have configured this in Mod Organizer. I download them manually to this location that is then visible in the Downloads tab, but because of doing so I need to use the Query Info functionality of Mod Organizer, and in my Downloads tab over here, the mods that I just downloaded have this triangle icon, and that means I need to query info. And remember, you can do it only for special edition mods. Do not try with Oldrim mods. To query info, right click on the file, choose query info, and then choose the mod ID, which is over here. For the mods that have a 4-digit mod ID on Nexus, it's easy to find, also 5-digit. You might be careful if you use one of the mods that were released just after game release, they will be number 3 or 4, then choose correctly. For Werewolf Time Meter, I can clearly notice that it's this number here, 8389, so I choose it, and the mod was now queried, and Mod Organizer will know which mod it is. And I continue with 3D trees. This is 12371. And here is a potential problem with mods that have a lot of files, so it cannot handle more than 30 files. So I will need to choose an older version and make sure that I am choosing a name 3D trees. So I will choose this one, and later after installation I will need to change the version manually after I update it. Next up is 3D plants, so be careful to choose a plants file. There we go, again the same problem. So let's choose plants, this one over here. As long as it's plants, we are good for now. Realistic Water 2, this is the mod ID. UNP, this is the mod ID over here, so I choose 1699. And again, this is UNP Female Body Renewal. Let's choose that one. Better descriptions, 7134. Better descriptions. Let's choose that one. Sounds of Skyrim, complete, 8286. Smoking torches. This is 8607. Smoking candles I don't use, so let's delete it. Or do I use it? Let's check. Candles. Because its name is Smoking Torches and Candles, but it consists of 2 files. That's why I downloaded it, although I didn't need to. So let's delete it. And Clear Refracting Icicle and Frost Atrona. It's number 2458. And now all the info is checked and queried, and Mod Organizer will know what mod it is. Only for some of the mods that we had the problem of too many files being available online, I will need to manually enter the new version once I updated it. So we are ready for the update routine, and I will go from the top, and the first on my list to update is Skyrim 3D trees. So what I do in this case, I double click on the newer version that I downloaded. I make sure that the name is the same as I have in my list. Skyrim 3D trees. This is the one that I'm updating. So I need to edit the name, and I can check manual. And I can see that data is inside this directory, so I right click on data and set data directory. Now when the name is changed and I found the data directory, the mod is ready to be updated. And I click OK. Mod organizer will ask me whether to merge, replace or rename. I choose replace for standard updating. Now the mod has been replaced, and mod organizer should keep the associated ESP in the same place, and I can see it has priority 17. Here it is. I will sort the load order anyway with loot at the end of the procedure. So as you can see, Skyrim 3D Trees version 3.04 is now labeled as installed, and I continue. And then I need to check, because this was one of the mods that I couldn't find the correct file version because it has too many files on the Nexus page. And I can see it's version 3.04, so I need to manually change the version here. And you will see it becoming green when the version matches. This is important so I can keep correct track of my updates. Next one is 3D plants. I have version 295p here, and the current version is 3.01. 3.01, yes, so let's double click and install it. And again, I need to change the name accordingly to 3D plants. Click on manual, expand the tree until I find data. Set data directory and click OK. Confirm with replace the old version entirely with the new version. And of course, due to the amount of files on the page, I will get a wrong version here. So I need to click it and edit it out to 3.01. That's the current version of 3D plants. And it will be still reported as needing update because the main file on this page is 3.04. So if there are any updates that have a lower version, they will be reported as needing update nonetheless. The same goes, for instance, for 3D Trees billboards, which hasn't got a newer version. That's why it will stay in my update list, the list of the mods that need to be updated, labeled red. So I have my 3D plants with the correct version now, and I can go down to Realistic Water 2, which went up to version 1.4.4. Let's see my current version, it's 1.4.1. So let's double click Realistic Water 2. Now here's a format installer, interactive installer. So I will use the interactive installer. Click next. Optional texture resolutions, I click on high. Next. I don't want watercolor. I don't have open cities. I don't have people of Skyrim. But I do have I need, and it was automatically selected. Now I click on install, and again it asks me if I want to merge, replace or rename it, and I choose replace. Next up is UNP female body renewal, so I find it up in my mods list here. UNP female body renewal, it went up to version 4.4. The name is here, and I double click it. Make my usual choices. Don't use bouncing physics. take 4K textures. Choose the SG female eyebrows. And again I'm asked if whether I want to merge, rename or replace. In case of simply updating mods, I choose replace. Then I need to double check if my UNP female body renewal has the correct version now. And I see it's 4.4, so this was labeled correctly. And I can go to better descriptions. Let's see where I have it. Better descriptions SSE is over here and it's at version 2.0. However, the current version is 2.2. I double click to install it. I check that the name matches the name in my mod list. Click on manual. I see that the structure is correct. It looks good for mod organizer, so I can click OK and replace the mod. Now we have the Sounds of Skyrim Complete Special Edition. Let's double click to install it. And here's a mistake that I did just a couple seconds ago. I did not look at the name, and this mod has this Obsidian Weathers patch here. And look, the name was auto-edited here to the Obsidian Weathers patch. That's why I need to delete this part and then install. And here I need to be very careful because you see in the newer version the Obsidian Weathers and Seasons patch is already included in the FOMOD installer. That's why I will need to delete the Sounds of Skyrim Complete Obsidian Weathers patch that is as a separate mod here. So now I install the Sounds of Skyrim Complete Special Edition. I'll go back one step. You see that all the patches that are needed for my game, they were pre-selected automatically, and I have double checked that I don't need any of the others. So I got 2 True Storms, I got Obsidian Weathers, and I got Enhanced Lighting for ENB, so that are the patches that I need. And I don't use ELFX. And I replace the mod when updating. Yes, and now the version was updated to 1.5.3, and the thing that I did wrong before was this. I delete that mod because the patch is already included in the newer version. So Sounds of Skyrim Complete is now updated. Next up we have Smoking Torches, and actually for transparency I will edit the name out to Smoking Torches. I don't want it to be called Smoking Torches and Candles when I don't use smoking candles. And the version I have here is 1.4, and it will be updated to 1.42. So let's install it. The name is correct, it matches the one in my mods list. I click on manual, go down, and I see meshes and textures and the ESP are under here. That's why I right click here and set this as the data directory. And now I can install it and replace the mod with the new version. Here. Smoking Torches, and it complains that the version is newer than actually available. That means that there is a main file that has a lower version on Nexus mods. Let's visit the page. Smoking Torches and Candles are still at version 1.12, and that's the main file. That's why it complains. However, Smoking Torches singular, without the candles, they have the higher version. And that's the second possibility where Mod Organizer will complain, but instead as sun it will show you this triangle here. That means the version is newer than available potentially. This mod was now updated correctly. The last two mods is, first of them is Transparent and Refracting Icicle and Frost Atrona. I just downloaded version 1.4.1 and the one I have here is 1.4. So let's double click it. And here we go. I want a 50% refracting one. The Soul Gems option, Crystal Refracting Soul Gems. I don't choose this because I use another Soul Gems mod, so I fear potential incompatibility. Outdoor Icicle Refraction Lot, LOD. Okay, why not? Smaller Icy Spear and Ice Spike. Yes, definitely. It looks quite ridiculous. Okay, and now I can install. There are some new options that weren't here in the last version. And replace the mod. Now let's have a look at my plugins, if there are any new plugins. SG Eyebrows is deselected. I will select the SG Eyebrows because I installed it with the UNP update. Last on our list is Werewolf Time Meter. So I just checked the Werewolf Time Meter mod page and there is under known issues an instruction where it says removing the mod with a save during beast form may cause Magicka regeneration to stop permanently. Avoid removing mods mid-game. Reactivate the mod and disable using the meter toggle to fix issue or use the console command. So as you can see, these instructions might also come handy if you, for instance, updated the mod during beast mode, which I do not recommend. But again, this proves that reading the mod descriptions is very important for updating scripted and also other mods. Werewolf Time Meter is number 169 on my list, and I need to be careful and look how I named the Werewolf Time Meter, and I see that the name contains V133, so I will change the name to avoid confusion with updating to Werewolf Time Meter, just like that. And the version is indeed 133, and the version I'm going to install is 142. So let's double click and see manual to set the data directory. As always, we have a BSA and ESP, and now looks good, so let's install it and replace the previous version. I am definitely not in beast mode with my current save. All the mods that you updated using this method presented here, and if the plugin names are the same, then the plugins will be already sorted in the load order, like in the case of Werewolf Time Meter, it is on position priority 95, whereas I have 110, so it was automatically put back into place where it was before in the load order of the plugins. And there is one very important mod that I omitted in this list, which is the Forest New Idols in Skyrim Special Edition, the FNIS. I will show you how to deal with it now. So as you can see on my mod list, I have Forest New Idols in Skyrim version 7.1.1, and the one that I downloaded for update is version 7.2. I also have an old 7.1 which is just deactivated, and that means it is not present in the game anyhow. It is not existent for the game because of the wonderful virtual file system of Mod Organizer. Now I will right click and delete the 7.1 version. And I will also update the 7.1.1 version to 7.2. So as I can see, the name of the mod Forest New Idols in Skyrim is correct. So I can double click on the FNIS mod here in my downloads. Now I will set the data directory. I can see a data folder here when I expand the tree. I will expand the data folder. See that I have my meshes, scripts and other things too here. So I will now right click on data and set data directory. Looks good, said Mod Organizer, so I can click OK and install the mod, but not so quickly, because when I look above I can see that the name was wrongly assigned to FNIS spells. So let me just delete this because I want the name of the mod to be associated with this mod in my mod list, to avoid it overwriting FNIS spells instead of the main mod. Now it's all correct. Let's click OK and replace the mod. After this you can see 7.2 was installed and 7.1.1 is now gone. After some game testing upon finishing this video, I noticed that there is a problem with dresses, namely with the mod UNP body, fit, armors and clothing, and particularly with the new version 1.3. The problem is quite severe. You can see a spike growing out of the dresses of Sadia and also other women. So I will show you how to downgrade the mod again to version 1.2, which was working correctly. The spike is now clearly visible, so let's do the necessary things to have it working again. So let's first check if I have the proper version. I search for body fit in my downloads and I see body, fit, armors and clothing. Look at the mod ID, not to mess it up with another mod maybe of similar name. It's 11136 and I have version 1.3 installed now. I need version 1.2. It's this mod over here, and so I double click the 1.2 version, the older version, check manual, check that the name corresponds to this what I have in my mod list, and click OK and click replace. And this replaced the mod straight away with the older version. After all the mods have been updated, it's time now to sort my load order with loot. So first of all, I am now working, and with all this update with the TUCOGUIDE January 2018, 3 overhaul 2, that includes the Skyrim 3D trees. First of all, I will need to deactivate the bashed patch mod that I had to date. Next I will enable all plugins. I will also disable the Beijing ones that I don't need, and finally I will sort the plugins. And that's actually it for sorting. After messing around with Forest New Idols or any animation mods, the thing that needs to be done after sorting the load order is running the FNIS generator. I will choose gender specific animations, skeleton arm fix and TK dodge that I have installed, and update the FNIS behavior. Okay, 98 animations for 3 mods successfully included. Consistency check, exit. The files were written to overwrite. Let's open it. 3 folders, so I can right click on it and create mod FNIS generated 8, because I know my last one was 7. Move it to the vicinity where I keep my FNIS generated. Deactivate the previous one and activate the new one. So now let's go to DYNDOLOD. First of all, you want to check if your DYNDOLOD output and TextGen output folders are clean inside. They are on my K mechanical drive. DYNDOLOD output is clean and TextGen output is clean. In that case, let's start the DYNDOLOD procedure. First, deactivate the old DYNDOLOD that I'm not going to need anymore. After the update, we need a new DYNDOLOD because of new Skyrim 3D trees and maybe some other mods. So, DYNDOLOD textures and DYNDOLOD output 3 option 2 deactivated. Next, choose TextGen from your tools. Run it. Choose your output path, mine is already pre-selected, and choose your load texture size. For medium to higher end graphic cards I would suggest 256, for GTX 1080 Ti you might go with 512. And let's start. This process for TextGen takes in my case about 2 to 3 minutes. So the process has finished and I can click on exit. Next up, let's go into my TextGen output folder. Right click on the results, 7-zip, add to archive, and rename it to DYNDOLOD textures 3 option 2, compression level normal, and 7-zip it. Zip is ready, so now I can install it with Mod Organizer 2. First of all, let's remove the old TextGen textures output. Click on this icon here to install a custom mod. But wait, first of all, I will export it to my main folder on this drive, because I want to keep it here in case I would need to reinstall it. Mod Organizer will know where it is. And I want to keep my TextGen output folder empty. Okay, now give the name DYNDOLOD textures 3 option 2. Looks good. Install. DYNDOLOD textures 3 option 2 is now installed. I'll move it here and activate. Next up is DYNDOLOD output 3 option 2. I will copy out the name, then I will run DYNDOLOD 64. First of all, I will remove this mod. Now run DYNDOLOD. Wait for the OK button to get functional and go to advanced. And first look at my output path. DYNDOLOD output on drive K is the place. Let's see if it's empty. Make sure. Yes, it's empty, so it's ready for files. So I go advanced, select all worlds, click on high. Double check if everything is set up correctly, every tick is selected that needs to be. This looks correct. According to the TUCOGUIDE, this is properly set up, so I can click OK. This process will take my computer roughly 10 minutes, so see you in a while. The process is finished, I can click exit. Now open my DYNDOLOD output folder. These are the generated files. Select all, right click, 7-zip, add to archive, and give it the usual name for DYNDOLOD output, and compress it. This again will take some time as it's a big file. The compression is ready, so I can now cut the file out here and put it to my main K drive, and click the custom mod installation button in Mod Organizer 2. Take the DYNDOLOD output, it's 585 megabytes big, give it the same name like I gave to the file, check manual, everything's fine. I installed DYNDOLOD output 3 option 2 now. After this is done, it is time to sort my load order again. This time I will start loot and sort plugins. Apply. The DYNDOLOD ESM went to the ESMs and DYNDOLOD output was set after the bashed patch. Very good. So now I can rebuild the bashed patch and then generate the Forest New Idles FNIS behavior. My bashed patch for this profile will be called BP3 overhaul 2 DYNDOLOD. I will copy out the name now. Deactivate the old bashed patch, remove the mod. Then I need to make sure that for the bashed patch rebuild all plugins are enabled, but DYNDOLODs are disabled. And also the Bijin Wives, War Maidens and NPCs are disabled, as I keep them disabled at all times. Now the list is ready for rebuilding the bashed patch. Vrybash started. I am now activating the bashed patch, putting it before the Dyndolod ESP. Right click and rebuild. Just click OK and build patch. After the rebuild, I can see the summary window. Click OK, close Vrybash. Open override, see that the bashed patch files are in here. So let's right click override, create mod and name it bashed patch 3 overhaul 2 -dyndolod. The mod is here, I can activate it. The bashed patch is now active, so I can activate Dyndolod ESP and don't forget Dyndolod ESM. Finally, before testing the game, I will need to regenerate the FNIS behavior. For this I will use the FNIS generator for users, which I have linked here. So let's just run it. Activate the patches that I need: gender, specific animation, skeleton, arm fix and TK dodge. Update FNIS behavior. 98 animations for free mods successfully included. Consistency check, 0 possible consistency issues. Click exit, click cancel if you get this warning. Now in the override there should be the FNIS files, and they are meshes, scripts and tools. Looks good. So let's right click, create mod, FNIS generated 9, because my last one is number 8. Now I will move it to the place where I keep the FNIS generated mods, deactivate FNIS generated 8 and activate FNIS generated 9. Now I have one more note for you regarding Forest New Idols and the upcoming version of Mod Organizer 2.1.2. I just switched to it. This is a development build and it's a beta. This will see release in a very similar state as it is now. So the behavior changed for files being changed by the tools you run from Mod Organizer. Especially the behavior is different for Forest New Idols. Before, when we ran the FNIS gen, we received always free folders here in override. This will change now because in the present state of Forest New Idols mod, there will be files that will be overwritten directly into the mods or into your last FNIS generated mod. Because of this, it is important to have the FNIS generated mods in the very bottom of your mod list, so that the most possible files can be overwritten actually in this FNIS generated mod that we create ourselves. So I will run FNIS gen now to show you the difference. I have the FNIS generated 21, this is my last version, and this is now the beta version of Mod Organizer 2.1.2, which will be released very soon. So I wanted to add this additional instruction for the video to be up to date even when the new Mod Organizer version is released. Let's run FNIS gen. I see that my patches that I use are selected. Update FNIS behavior. The new version of FNIS is hiding behind Mod Organizer 2. I see that the operation shows correct results, 98 animations for free mods. Let's do a consistency check and exit. I didn't get any files into my override folder, because the same files were generated before and there was no reason for the program to put anything into override. With the previous version we would get the free directories anyway. If you are rebuilding FNIS with Mod Organizer 2.1.2, please make sure that you leave the last FNIS generated mod that you have active. Generate FNIS then, and if anything new appears in your override, you will be notified here. When that is the case, double click the override folder, select all files here and drag them into the FNIS generated mod. That's the new procedure. We have asked Fore to provide the additional option to have Forest New Idols generate the output into a custom folder that you would be able to choose yourself and then create a mod out of it, which will be perfect for us who like to have total control what is happening with your files. And that's it. This is the update process completed. Now let's test the game. Let's test the game after updating the 11 mods, among which were big and complicated ones like forest new idols and other things. I will load up a save where I am in Breeze home. Just, you know, I wouldn't actually need to, but this is an old save which contained a bit other mod selection, but it works fine. Let's check my glass dagger. So Lydia is fine. The torches hotkey is fine. Okay, let's go outside.
I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only.
Face-to-face conversation works good too. I was stopped by the courier immediately. I'll look at the clothes, at the face, everything looks very nice. Actually, I will go inside the Drunken Huntsman and wait for the morning. Let's go outside. Put down the torch. I'm going out to the wild a bit. Let's look at my character. Very good. Face-to-face conversation.
Right behind you.
Very nice.
You lead, I'll follow.
Water, nice. Grass, fine. Dyndolod, very nice. New moving 3D plants. I wonder if I can easily disable this movement. And the new dead tree. A lot less pixelated like some people complained, so now I can see that Matti made higher quality textures for this. Fogs working good. Butterflies working good. Obsidian weathers. But with Dyndolod at high quality and the ENB and Matti's files, performance is at its borders. Let's have a look at the places around. Some flickering on Whiterun. Maybe I'm in the wrong place. This is a Dyndolod problem, which I will need to look into. This is actually a bigger problem of these textures there. I am quite far away, but they are still flickering, and I wonder what to do about it. And the flickering wall is still a problem. Now we have some different trees here. .50 FPS recorded, hovering between 50 and 60 FPS.
A fine day to you, friend. May you die with a sword in your hands. Aye.
46 FPS. And the famous spot for looking at graphics. Here it is. And do remember that MATI 3D trees plus high quality Dyndolod like I have now is very taxing on the system. This is a GTX 1080 Ti and the game is running at 1440p 16:9, so at 2K, and the card does not keep constant 60 FPS in these spots here, depending on where I look. So you might want to consider Dyndolod medium quality and maybe not using the 3D plans if performance is still a problem. That is all for today's video. I wanted to show you the ins and outs of the entire mod updating process where you need to update multiple mods. I hope I did not skip any important part. If you have questions, drop a comment or catch me on the TUCOGUIDE Nexus page, and thank you all for watching. See you in the next video. Subscribe if you like that kind of content, because there is gonna be more of it.